Now, at the top of the show, we promised you some glamorously naughty supercars.
Yeah, now, it doesn't come any more glamorously naughty than a Lamborghini, and particularly not the brand-new LP670-4...
Super Veloce.
Which just happens to cost more than £250,000, and even by Lambo's standards, it's completely insane.
Now, of course, everybody wanted to test it, but eventually the job landed at the feet of the man least likely to crash.
Today's fiery Lamborghini range contains some of the fastest creatures ever created for tarmac. But among the raging bulls, there is a very clear king.
And in Lamborghini land, the king wears an SV badge.
Super Veloce, the Lamborghini that reigns terror over all others. The most expensive, the most powerful, the most Lambo.
The last model to wear the SV badge was the iconic Diablo SV, which was the last of the hairy-chested Italian Lambos before Audi got involved and tamed things down a bit. Now, I want this to be like the good old days. Completely, well, bonkers.
On an arrow straight road, you'll be bowled over by the car's speed. But I'm far more interested in seeing what this dream car is like on real-world roads. And Italian doesn't necessarily translate into Welsh, especially in a car that's wider than a Range Rover, but about 1 million times faster.
This is the kind of car that gets risk assessors all sweaty. Lambo have altered the way the engine breathes, so you get an additional 30 brake horsepower over the standard version. 0 to 62, well, it's the best 3.2 seconds of your life. Oh, and it's just relentless grunt, torque and power. The noise is sensational. Now, from the outside, it does look a bit intimidating, a bit unwieldy, and for sure when you're around towns, it does feel that way. But once you get it on the move, once you start flowing in and out the corners, it all comes to life and it makes sense. It's pretty easy to drive, he says. I tell you what, this is one of those cars, like all the best Lamborghinis, where you just cannot help but taking pictures of and send to your mates. It's outrageous.
The interior is just as serious, Spartan and sculpted from space-age materials. It's like being inside the sort of caves that border Gotham City. The SV is 100 bags of sugar lighter than the normal Murcielago, and in fact is lighter than a BMW M3. So when you mount her through the sci-fi doors, you can't help but wonder about handling.
Now, four-wheel drive biased towards the rear, the car has got monster grip, and it's going to take a really brave man to try and unstick it. However, if you turn in a little bit whilst you're too much on the brakes, then you can feel the back start to skip. And I get the feeling that if you let it get too far away, it ain't going to come back.
But if you do overcook your £266,000 investment, Lamborghini have made carbon ceramic brakes standard on the SV. So it's reassuring it'll stop on a pinhead when things go wrong.
Now, we're on some pretty rough Welsh mountain roads, and whilst the ride is firm, I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. The seats most certainly are. There's not enough support in the lumbar area. They're a bit too racy-like. But is it practical? I don't give a damn. You know, this is a car to have a blast on a Sunday afternoon. It's certainly not a first car. It's a wealthy man's second car.
The SV is so good it's got me a bit worried, because this most extreme of all Murcielagos is also the last. Lamborghini are soon to phase it out with an all-new car. I just hope the replacement is as good as this.
Tom, I've got a bit of a quibble. The Super Veloce he was driving, top speed, 209 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right, you can buy one for 50 grand cheaper that's faster, it'll do 210.
Right, the subtleties of this are obviously lost on you, aren't they?
Well, I suppose it's a very subtle car, isn't it?
Very much so, but there's two versions of the Super Veloce, right?
Right.
One that has a big wing pack that does 209 miles an hour, and one with a smaller wing pack that does 212 miles an hour. And the one with the bigger wings is better round fast corners.
I'd rather go for the quicker one in a straight line. I haven't been taught corners yet anyway.
That's probably safer for everybody.
Yeah.